gather round. In this entry, we'll be covering one of, if not the most helpful magical items in the realms, the Bag of Holding. The Bag of Holding is a magical item that seems almost ubiquitous in nature, a magical item that almost every adventuring group worth their salt will have at least one of, an item that'll make your trek through the spine of the world much more manageable, and an item that you can exploit to your advantage if you have half an imagination. The Bag of Holding is a small magical sack that acts as an opening to what we'd call a pocket dimension. That being an extra dimensional space one could use to hold an absolutely large amount of materials, treasure, or other magical items, and nearly anything else under the sun. And once these items are inside the bag, well, the bag's weight stays exactly the same. Keep in mind, however, there's no design or look that's set in stone for a bag of holding. They can look like the most magnificently designed purse or the most rugged backpack, but they all share that magical quality that I previously mentioned. Typically, a bag of holding can hold up to 500 pounds of loot or material as long as it doesn't exceed a volume of 64 cubic feet, which is 4 feet by 4 feet by 4 feet. Although other types with different capacities do indeed exist. Beyond that, the bag of holding also allows for a few minutes of breathable air for any creatures that might enter or be forced into it. I believe most creatures can last approximately 10 minutes within the bag, so please don't forget you put any poor, undeserving creatures inside of it. Oh, and also, do not put a bag of holding in another bag of holding, or a portable hole, or any other extra dimensional space. If one were to do that, your bag would be lost forever, and, even worse, a rift to the astral plane would be open right there where you stand. I don't need to say that that's a bad thing, do I? Speaking of the astral plane, if your bag is pierced or overloaded, that's exactly where all the contents will end up. Anyways, as far as where these items originated from, it's widely believed the Kender folk from the world Krynn originally brought them to Toril a very long time ago. And since then, there have been many, many more made by more contemporary mages. But I do have to wonder if the original Kender design bags of holding differentiate from the more commonly known bags today. Alright, so that's basically what you need to know about these wonderful items in a practical sense, but what are some imaginative things one might be able to do with a bag of holding? Let me share a few things I've heard of adventurers doing with them across the years. How about reaching difficult places? Need to get somewhere high, get in the bag of holding, and have your familiar fly you there. Need to get past some traps, get in the bag of holding and have your familiar fly past them. Need to get through some bars, you get the idea. Also, don't have a familiar, have a party member just toss it, then tie a rope to it and toss it back to them. Keep in mind though, only the smaller among us will be able to do this. Do you have a meddling mage tracking you with locate object? Just toss that item inside the bag of holding as it'll completely nullify the effects of the spell. Also, if you were to somehow get a creature inside the bag, there's nearly no way they're going to be able to get out, and they'll surely suffocate. While I don't personally advocate for such inhumane methods, sometimes circumstances call for drastic actions. These are just a few cute little ways one might be able to take advantage of a bag of holding. It's fascinating just how many ways a rather mundane magical item can be used while adventuring, so my recommendation is to go forth and acquire one if you haven't already, and if you have already acquired one, I'd love to hear about some of the shenanigans you and yours have gotten up to with it. Okay, so hopefully you and your band of adventurers feel more educated about this incredibly useful magic item. If you visit any magic shop in the realms that's worth a damn, you're bound to find a bag of holding or similar item, and now you're armed with the knowledge you need to make use of them. So thanks for listening to this entry, everyone. Going forward, I want to write some smaller entries from time to time about more specific bits of lore within the realms. So if that interests you and you want to watch me get better at this over time, subscribe and click the bell for notifications. You know the drill. Also, if there are any specific topics you want me to research, please let me know and I'll be more than happy to look into it. The Forgotten Realms are absolutely teeming with interesting tidbits to learn about, so I doubt we'll run out anytime soon. Anyway, thanks again for listening, and I'll see you in the next installment. This is your guide signing out. Be safe, take care, and happy trails.